In a small village nestled amidst the lush greenery of the African countryside lived a poor widow named Amina. Her days were filled with hardship ever since her husband's sudden demise. Rumors whispered among the villagers, accusing Amina of her husband's death, although there was no evidence to support such claims. Despite her innocence, she was shunned and tormented by the villagers, particularly by a cruel man named Kwame. Each day, Amina endured his taunts and abuse, feeling the weight of injustice pressing down upon her. Amina's husband, Malik, had been a respected member of the community, a kind-hearted man who had always stood up for justice and fairness. His sudden death had left Amina shattered, not just emotionally but also financially. They had been a modest family, making ends meet through Malik's hard work. With his passing, Amina found herself thrust into the harsh reality of widowhood, forced to fend for herself and her young daughter, Zara. Kwame, a burly and domineering figure in the village, wasted no time in making Amina's life miserable. He had never been fond of Malik, viewing him as a rival for the villagers' affections. With Malik out of the picture, Kwame saw an opportunity to assert his dominance. Casting aspersions on Amina's character and subjecting her to relentless harassment despite the hardships she faced, Amina remained resilient, drawing strength from her love for Zara and her unwavering faith. She refused to let Kwame's cruelty break her spirit, her heart set on proving her innocence and reclaiming her dignity. Amina found solace in her unwavering faith and the love she held for her young daughter, Zara. Determined to provide for her child, Amina toiled tirelessly, taking on menial jobs and enduring the scorn of the villagers. Despite their hardships, Amina and Zara shared moments of joy, finding comfort in each other's embrace. However, the shadow of Kwame's cruelty loomed over them, casting a pall of fear and uncertainty. Despite the adversity they faced, Amina never lost sight of the flicker of hope that burned within. She refused to surrender to despair, clinging to the belief that better days lay ahead. With Zara by her side, she faced each new challenge with resilience and determination, her love for her daughter serving as a beacon of light in the darkness. They struggled to make ends meet. Amina and Zara found solace in the simple pleasures of life, a warm meal, a shared laugh, a tender embrace. In those fleeting moments of happiness, the weight of their troubles seemed to lift, replaced by a sense of gratitude for the blessings they still possessed. Though their journey was fraught with hardship, Kwame's malice knew no bounds as he continued to torment Amina, reveling in her suffering. With each passing day, his actions grew more brazen. Fueled by the villagers' indifference and his own lust for power, Amina bore the brunt of his abuse silently, fearing for her daughter's safety should she dare to defy him. Yet, beneath her meek exterior, a flicker of defiance burned within her, a determination to withstand Kwame's tyranny and reclaim her dignity. Despite the danger it posed, Amina refused to back down in the face of Kwame's cruelty. She knew that to surrender to fear would be to betray everything she held dear, her integrity, her resilience, her love for Zara. And so, she stood her ground, her spirit unbroken by the storm that raged around her. But as Kwame's harassment grew more relentless, Amina began to fear for her daughter's safety. Zara was her everything, her reason for living, and Amina would do anything to protect her from harm. Yet, with each passing day, the threat loomed larger, casting a shadow over their once peaceful existence. As Amina's trials mounted, Zara remained her beacon of hope, a reminder of the love that fueled her resilience. Despite their poverty, Amina showered her daughter with affection, shielding her from the harsh realities of their existence. Amina began to worry for Zara's safety. She could see the fear in her daughter's eyes, the uncertainty that clouded her young mind. Amina knew that she had to be strong, not just for herself, but for Zara. She had to find a way to put an end to Kwame's reign of terror, to reclaim their peace and security. In the stillness of the night, whispers began to spread among the villagers, murmurs of unrest and discontent. Rumors swirled like leaves caught in a tempest, carrying tales of Amina's innocence and Kwame's deceit. despite his attempts to silence dissent. The seeds of doubt took root, sowing discord within the village. Yet, amidst the chaos, Amina remained steadfast, her faith unshaken by the storm that raged around her. The whispers grew louder with each passing day, fueled by the villagers' growing discontent with Kwame's tyranny. Amina watched with bated breath as the tide began to turn against her tormentor, a glimmer of hope igniting within her weary heart. Perhaps she dared to hope justice would prevail and she would be vindicated at last, but even as the villagers rallied behind her, Amina knew that the battle was far from over. Kwame was a formidable adversary, his influence far-reaching and his cruelty boundless. She would need more than just the support of the villagers to bring him to justice. She would need courage, determination, and a willingness to confront the darkness that lurked within their midst. As tensions simmered beneath the surface, Amina found herself thrust into the heart of the storm, facing a trial that would determine her fate. Accused once more of her husband's death, she stood before the village elders, her innocence hanging in the balance. Yet, despite the weight of their judgment, Amina refused to cower, her gaze steady and unwavering. With each accusation hurled her way, she countered with the strength of her convictions, refusing to be swayed by the lies that sought to ensnare her. The trial was a grueling ordeal, each accusation a dagger aimed at Amina's heart. Yet, she remained resolute, her faith unwavering in the face of adversity. With each passing moment, she felt the weight of injustice pressing down upon her, threatening to crush her spirit. But still, she stood tall, her resolve unbroken by the storm that raged around her. Amina's determination began to waver. Doubt crept into her mind, whispering tales of defeat and despair. What if she was unable to prove her innocence? What if the villagers' prejudice against her was too strong to overcome? But then, she remembered Zara, the light of her life, the reason for her strength. With her daughter's face etched in her mind, Amina found the courage to push forward, to face whatever fate awaited her with dignity and grace. And then, just when it seemed that all hope was lost, a voice rang out from the crowd, a voice filled with conviction and righteousness. It was Malik's old friend, Musa, who had remained silent throughout the trial, his eyes downcast in shame. But now, he stepped forward, his voice trembling with emotion as he revealed the truth that had been hidden for so long. Musa recounted the events of the night of Malik's death, how he had witnessed Kwame's treachery with his own eyes. He had been afraid to come forward, fearing retribution from the powerful bully who had terrorized the village for far too long. But now, faced with the opportunity to right a terrible wrong, he could no longer remain silent. As Musa spoke, a hush fell over the crowd, broken only by the sound of his impassioned words. The villagers listened intently, their eyes wide with shock and disbelief. And as the truth began to sink in, a swell of anger rose up within them, a righteous fury that could no longer be contained. As Musa's revelation reverberated through the crowd, a wave of indignation swept over the villagers, their simmering discontent erupting into open rebellion. Kwame's facade of invincibility crumbled before their eyes, his lies exposed for all to see. He tried to protest, to deflect blame onto others, but his words fell on deaf ears. The village elders, faced with irrefutable evidence of Kwame's guilt, had no choice but to render their verdict. Kwame was stripped of his titles and banished from the village. His reign of terror brought to an abrupt and ignominious end. And as he slunk away into the shadows, a sense of justice was finally restored to the village, a justice born not of vengeance, but of truth and righteousness. For Amina, the verdict brought a profound sense of relief, tempered by the knowledge that her innocence had been vindicated at last. She had endured hardships that would have broken lesser souls, but through it all, she had remained steadfast in her belief in justice and fairness. And now, As she looked out upon the faces of her fellow villagers, she saw not scorn or suspicion, but admiration and respect. But amidst the jubilation, Amina's thoughts turned to Musa, the unsung hero whose bravery had brought about Kwame's downfall. She sought him out in the crowd, her heart overflowing with gratitude for the man who had risked everything to speak the truth. And as their eyes met, Amina saw a flicker of understanding pass between them, a bond forged in the crucible of adversity. A shared commitment to upholding the principles of justice and integrity. With Kwame's reign of terror at an end, Amina and Zara found themselves free from the shackles of fear that had bound them for so long. In the aftermath of the trial, the village rallied around them, offering support and solace in their time of need. Yet, amidst the jubilation, Amina remained humble, her heart filled with gratitude for the kindness shown to her and her daughter. In the face of adversity, she had found not only redemption but also the strength to rebuild her life anew. As the days passed, Amina watched with pride as the village underwent a transformation, a rebirth of spirit and purpose that breathed new life into their once fractured community. The wounds of the past began to heal, replaced by a sense of unity and solidarity that transcended the divisions of old. And at the heart of it all was Amina, a beacon of hope shining bright in the darkness, guiding her fellow villagers towards a brighter tomorrow. But even as she reveled in the newfound peace and prosperity of her village, Amina knew that the scars of their past would always linger, a reminder of the trials they had overcome and the strength they had discovered within themselves. Amina felt a sense of optimism stirring within her, a belief that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, bound by a shared commitment to building a better future for themselves and their children. As time passed, wounds once raw began to heal, replaced by a sense of hope and renewal. Amina's bond with her fellow villagers deepened, forged in the crucible of their shared struggle. Even Kwame, humbled by his fall from grace, sought redemption in the eyes of those he had wronged. Through forgiveness, Amina found healing, her heart unburdened by the weight of past grievances. In its place bloomed a spirit of compassion and understanding, binding the village together in a tapestry of unity and resilience. As the sun rose on a new day, Amina stood at the threshold of possibility, her gaze fixed on the horizon of a future filled with promise. Though the scars of her past remained, they served as a testament to her strength and perseverance in the face of adversity. With Zara by her side, she embarked on a journey of self-discovery, embracing each new challenge with courage and grace. For in the crucible of hardship, Amina had discovered the true measure of her worth, the beacon of hope shining bright in the darkness, illuminating the path to a brighter tomorrow.